Hey Heather,
Hi, how's it going?
it's been a while since I ran a Zoom call.
Well, I'm super excited. I'm just gonna be like kicking back, like
No, you're not.
yes.
Yeah, and then I had to check. I'm like, you know what? Mine are only like 40 minutes. So I don't know,
That's
sometimes
cool.
like if you pay for it, they're longer or something, but I only have 40 minutes. So, hey
Yeah, I
guys.
decided, I decided to commit to like paying because I'm like, I always felt bad cutting everyone off, and it always was like right when it was good too. And I'm like, sorry, bye. I just want to say bye real quick. Are you
Yeah,
gonna cut it off?
40
So
minutes is kind of short, but that's what we
yeah,
have.
yeah, it's cool. We can have you open it, and then we can get going. However you want to go.
Okay.
Colleen, you'll want to record it.
I was about to say that it actually is recording right now. When I set it up, it just was like, do you want it recording right away? And I'm like, yeah, so that I don't forget. So it is recording. I don't know how many we have kind of popping on. Like we don't necessarily have to wait. Like I said, it's recording anyway. So I say we just dive right in.
Perfect. So today's Zoom, we're going to be doing converting trials to Smartship, which Smartship is the foundation of our company. It's everything. It should be our ultimate focus when we are talking to our people. So I just wrote down some notes. I'm going to read those off to you guys, and you can ask questions, or we can elaborate on each one as we go, if that works. So setting expectations. Why are we even doing trials? We're doing trials so people can find their flavor. That's it. People don't get results in 10 days. Like, let's just get that thought out of our head. If they do, cool. But most of the time, we're not expecting many results in 10 days. So if we cut that expectation out, we're not going to be projecting something onto our customers. If we tell our people like, oh my gosh, you're going to have so much energy and you're going to drop 5 pounds and look at so-and-so's 10-day results, and they don't have that, they're going to peace out. So we're going to set proper expectations with our trial. And our trial is to offer people a variety of flavors so they can find their soulmate and order it. So what we talk about during the trial is what to expect. Like you'll probably notice that you sleep a little bit better. You wake up easier. That's a realistic thing that could happen in 10 days. So I asked them, like, awesome, how did you sleep? You know, obviously, how did you like the flavor? Great. If they don't like it, I'm like, oh, try it with heavy whipping cream, or add some Java flavored Mio to the chocolate swirl, right? So I talk about taste, I talk about flavor, and then I ask them, like, how was your wake up? And most people are like, I actually woke up easier. And then I'm like, cool, cool. You know, are you noticing any changes with your appetite? Because that is something that is realistic to happen. I don't ask them like, are your clothes fitting better? Because that one's like really hit or miss if they're going to say yes or not. So I want them to say yes. And I want to ask them questions that make them respond. So, and I want them to have positive responses. So I've noticed if I ask them, how's it going? How's that trial? They're going to come back with something negative, or, oh, I don't think I'm losing any weight yet, right? Like that's kind of people's natural response, is to be a little bit negative. So I ask really specific questions, and I try and keep those questions relatable to what they should expect in a 10-day. Heather said, can you mute everybody other than Amy, please?
I'll figure out how to do that.
Okay. So the focus, again, is to help them find their flavor soulmate and have them get used to drinking it every single day. So everyone's different everyone's different lifestyle and choices, and their patterns and routines are different. Some people like to wake up, drink water, and drink ketones. Other people are like, I am not giving up my coffee. So they're going to wake up, drink their coffee, and then do ketones. Some people will want to eat breakfast first. So during the trial, we're helping them get used to drinking it every single day. Help them find a time that works best for them. And then we're helping them find their flavor. So flavor soulmate. So after we talk about, you know, once they're drinking it every day and we're like asking how the flavors are, they're like, I absolutely love this. It just muted me. Did you guys catch the last thing I said? Okay. So we're going to talk to them about what's next. So I talk about the first month. the first month we're going to pick the flavor that they really like. Say it's day 5, they just had raspberry. They're like, man, this one's good. I'm like, perfect. What we're going to do is get you set up for the next month. Because during my talk to them prior to having them buy a trial, I let them know that this is just to find the flavor and that we're going to be putting in 90 days. I always tell them this is a 90-day journey, because really, like, 90 days is where the magic happens, right? Like, you look at your 30, 60, 90-day pictures, like in my progressions, 90 days was, bam, I was where I wanted to be. And so I set up an expectation, like, really, you want to give it a solid 90 days to get the results that you really want to have. So the first month is finding your flavor and smart shipping it. And I explained smart ship means your first order, it's going to be full price, but you're going to lock in 22% off for what's coming in those future months. And then I let them know that, so first month, full price. Second month, we have a 22% off discount. Third month, so this is what, 30, 60, 90 days. 90 days, that's our progress check-in. And on the 4th month, you're going to get a free box. So I'm setting up a really long-term mindset with these people. When they buy a 10-day trial, they're already thinking about 90 days is going to be my health check-in. This 10-day trial is just for me to try my flavor and find it and get used to drinking it every single day. So I always talk about long-term. So when it comes to going on to Smartship, that's just a little tiny blip and they're already on it. And then they stay on it because they're looking for that 90-day check-in with me. And then after the 90-day check-in, they even have more to look forward to because they get a free box that 4th month. So that's 4 months that we're setting them up to think about on a 10-day trial. So I let them know, I'm like, it's not only going to be 22% off starting that 2nd month, it's not only going to be a free box on your 4th month, but this is qualifying you to get it free every single month. And so that's when I start talking about the business opportunity. So the business opportunity is not something I wait for them to be a raving fan on. I let them know right off the bat, like, sharing is how you get it for free. And you'll be able to see right away that people are actually surprisingly open to that. Because sharing it means they get to do the journey with somebody else. I always tell them, do you have any other friends or family who would want to do this with you? It's so much more fun when you have a best friend. And I share my story. I did it with my best friend. I was like, Megan, I found this thing and I think it's great. Will you do this with me? I didn't have to know anything about it. I was like, just try this with me. Let's try it together. So oftentimes you can get another trial out of it, but then they have accountability. And then you have the option of already stacking people under each other to help them get that free product, which is a part of taprooting, which is another Zoom I could do about growing downwards through your people. And that's just helping everybody get the free product. So let's see, create a long-term mindset. Our hesitations will manifest into our customers' objections. That one's something that I've had to learn. So a lot of times, like, if you think, oh man, $60 is so much for a trial, you know, they're gonna scoff at the price too, because that's just the law of attraction. What like energy attracts like energy. If you're hesitant, you're gonna attract hesitant people. If you think it's too expensive, that's exactly what you'll find. So I feel like the 60-day trial or the 10-day trial for $60 is such a good deal. Like, you want to talk yourself into it. Like, really believe how great of a deal that is, because it's costing me so much money to have all these different flavors, right? And I'm able to put all of those together for only $6 a day for them. Like, I'm not charging them for, you know, me having to buy 5 20 days. Like, that's a steal of a deal. So that was something else. And you guys can all sell yours for different prices. But for me, I feel really good about $60 for a 10-day. So that's why I sell mine for that price, is because that's what I feel good about. And if I feel good about it, I'm going to attract customers who feel good about it. So if you feel solid about charging $80, dang, don't let me limit you. Go for $80. Okay. So that's something else too. Does anyone have any questions so far? I feel like I'm like really going fast. No? Okay. Is this helping at all? Yeah.
Yeah. Quick question. So do you talk more about like that referral link, like more in detail? Like you don't want to throw like too much at them like all at once, you know, but like do you talk about that a lot in the beginning or more later?
I never talk about the referral link. I don't get too in detailed about the free product program because then it's like, to tell them the free product program, you have to like literally give them a paragraph, right? And I try not to send paragraphs at people. I try not to go over more than one or two like details at a time. And the free product program, there's a lot of details to it. So I don't even go into it. I do that for them. So once they sign up on Smartship, I'm like, cool. Okay, so we're gonna go customize your referral code. And they're like, okay, what is that? I'm like, just go to settings. And I send screenshots and I'll like highlight, like I'll take my little editor and I'll circle the little gear icon. I'll be like, go here. And then I go to the next screen, screenshot, go here, literally screenshots, boom, 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 how to do it. And I'm like, just pick something that's easy to remember. And then they do it. I'm like, cool. And then if they're serious about getting it, like I'll put their referral code in my phone. So when they connect me with somebody else, I just give it out for them. And they're like, oh my gosh, how did you make that? Like I'm this mysterious, magical person. But I don't put them through those steps. I try and keep it super, super dumbed down and simple because that's replicatable. Because in the past, I made things really difficult by always being the know-it-all, always having all the answers, being like, you know, over explaining things. And that just makes it complicated. And people are like, I don't have time for that right now. Mm-hmm. So try and keep it super simple. Do you have anything you want to add to that, Heather?
Yeah, actually, as far as the customer referral program, what has been working really, really well for me personally over the last several months has been to help them craft a post. So what I will do with my customers, and I do this with every single person on the 10-day. So I'm actually working with them in the 10-day on this, not down the road after they've committed to their first box or their first Smartship. So I'm, you know, showing them how to do this right away. I will ask them what their favorite benefits are that they're receiving, and I'll show them the list of benefits on the box so that they know, you know, which ones to think about, because sometimes people are like, oh, I don't know, well, I haven't lost weight, and obviously that's not a benefit on our box. So I will make sure to give them the list of benefits to choose from so that they are choosing from those. And then once they have actually said what, you know, they love the most, then I'm going to them and saying, okay, try something like this. Like you can make it into your own words, make it sound like you, but something like, does anyone on my friends list struggle with falling asleep or staying asleep, or, you know, waking up and feeling like you still need to sleep? Like whatever it is that they're benefiting from, I will then craft a post based on what, you know, maybe someone else might be experiencing, put it up on their page, and then I tell them, okay, tag me in that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to comment on all of those, like people that like and comment on that. We're going to then put them into a three-way message, and we're going to talk about the product, show them the video just like we did with you, and we're going to, you know, hopefully bring them in, and then here's how you're going to get set up on free products. So basically, like I always tell them up front, you don't have to be a promoter to do this. Like, allow me to do all the work. You know, I've been using this for over a year. I've been asked every single question under the sun. I'm not scared of any question, you know, like, and if I don't know something, we'll find out the answer from one of our doctors or scientists or whatever. And that's been helping really well. So that's one of the ways that I get a lot of people to, you know, commit, because then they see how easy it is, you know, to get those two people. And then sometimes they even tell even more people. And like Amy has said on a different call, that's when, like, if you get more than two people and they've got like 3 or 5 people that want to do it, you should be like, okay, girl, wait. Like, you might want to consider doing this as a promoter, because like, obviously your people are trusting you, and they'll probably trust you more than they would trust me. So let's get you in as a promoter and just help the people that are already being like, yes, I want to do this too. So hopefully that helps.
That does help. Something that I like to do, and that kind of in alignment with what Heather's saying is like any chance I can, like whenever we're talking about getting it for free, I also slide in the verbiage and you can get paid to do this. And I don't say anything else, but you can also get paid to do this. Just to get them kind of thinking like, oh, there's money opportunity here. Like even before you ever have to be like, girl, you just had 10 people hit you up. Let's talk business. We've already talked business because I said in the very beginning, you can make money doing this. And so every little thing kind of builds upon the next, right? And a lot of people are like super open to doing posts, like Heather said. And then a lot of people aren't. And so I have people who are like, I will never share this. I don't want anyone to know. Like they're only close to their mom, you know what I mean? And so those are the people that I'm like, oh yeah, I totally get that, not wanting to share it. But I have a message that you could just copy and paste to your closest friends and family. Will you send this to them? They don't have to craft up anything to say. Like I give them what to say, like, hey, so-and-so, and I have it in a note in my phone. So I'm like, if you're wanting to get free product, are you willing to send a message to some of your closest friends and family? So they don't have to make a post. They could literally just start messaging people because our money's made in Messenger. It's not made in the post, right? Like if you're needing to find people, posts are really easy. But people already have people in their phone. They already have people in their Messenger. So I really like to, sometimes you can tell just from a person's Facebook how private they are. And so you already kind of know, like this person, they're going to have no problem sending a post. And this person hasn't posted since 2015. Maybe I'll just ask her if she wants to send a message, you know? So there are options for people with their different like styles and things. Sorry, I have to fix a little doll head that popped off.
So one question I have for, both you, Amy, and Heather, and however you want to answer, whatever order, but like, what are your check-in points? Like I can get the 10 days out, like not really with any problem. And I try to say like, let me know when your package arrives so that I can kind of see that probably the next day is going to be day 1. And then I try to check in with them maybe like day 3 or 5, or actually they usually fall off the earth and then I never hear from them again.
Every single day. I hit them up every day. And I let them know. They're like, well, what is a trial? And I'm like, well, it's where lately I've been like, we're going to do a little experiment. Are you down with that? Because I've been chatting with a lot of people. And so now there's people that I've built relationships with where you've kind of just chit-chatted for a long time. I'm like, let's do this little experiment together. And like, okay, what does this trial entail? So even if you're not saying let's do the experiment, people are going to know, like, what is the trial? What do we do? Well, what we do is we check in every single day. I'm going to find out if you liked that day's flavor. I'm going to find out how you slept, how you woke up, how's your energy, how's your appetite every single day. I don't let them fall off.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure they're drinking it. Because remember, part of that is finding the right time for them to drink their ketones.
Right.
If we were to go through everyone on here, we probably drink them all at different times. And so we want people to get in the habit of drinking them daily. And that's one of the main points of a trial is get into the habit of drinking them, find your flavor. So if we're getting them into the habit of drinking them, we have to hit them up every day. Be like, did you drink your ketones? Because a lot of people forget, right? Like, oh, I didn't. Like, I got super busy. Like this lady, I'm walking her through a trial now. She's like, dang it, I went out to the barn and I was going to grab them. And then I got out to the barn and then all my chores took over and it's 3:00. Can I still have them? But she never would have hit me up with that. I had to check in and find out, like, this lady forgot to bring her ketones with her to the barn, or so-and-so works full time and forgot to bring them and doesn't know that she can have them in the evening because I send both decaf and charged for just that reason. So every single day.
How do you track that, Amy? Like if you have like 4 out at a time, like are you kind of like listing them and just being like, I got to check in, this one's day 3, this one's day 8?
I have my list.
Okay.
I have my list of people, my list of trials that I'm selling. Super old school. I don't do like an Excel spreadsheet and none of that. I can't get myself to do that. And I personally feel like when I write it, I'm manifesting that. Like when I write this person's name down, you are a promoter. You know what I mean? So it's like I use it as like part of my personal development manifesting, but also I can look and see for June, I have to check in on Shay, Nikki, Jessica, Heather, Danielle, Megan, Kira. You know what I mean? Like And I check in on them, and I make sure that my focus is always like to find your flavor, make sure like, so you really like drinking it in the morning, perfect. So you're going to run out in 3 days. So Saturday morning, you won't have any if you don't order today.
Okay.
Another thing I want to add too is checking in daily. I set the expectation that the support piece of it is very, very important, and that even if they forget to drink their ketones that day, or if they do drink their ketones and they think that it sucks that day, you know, or like they crap their pants. I mean, whatever it is that could be potentially a negative thing in their brain that they are fearful of telling me, okay? Like they don't want to let me down. Sometimes people are like, they fall in love with us and then they say yes to us, and then they're like, well, I don't want to disappoint Heather or Amy or Colleen. I don't want them to think like I hate them just because I maybe don't like this product. So I just tell them, I said, look, we're going to, like when I go into a trial, I'm like, we're going to be friends no matter what the outcome of this is. But I really, really need you to promise me that when I reach out to you and ask you how your ketones were, that you are honest, no matter if it's good or bad. I want you to actually be truthful with me. If you didn't drink it, you know, if you didn't like it. So that way I can actually be a better coach to you. Because if you didn't like it, we can figure out a way for you to like it with that flavor. You know, we can mix it up different ways, like whatever, you know. And so I get that commitment from them, and that has been such a game changer. I didn't do that in the beginning, and I had a lot of people fall off, but now I get that commitment from them, and even though they might be a little shy, because I do get a lot of shy people and people that are scared about hurting my feelings, I'm like, look, don't worry about it. Just tell me, like, seriously, how was it? Was it not that good? Is that why you're feeling apprehensive? And then they're like, yeah, I didn't really like today's. And then we'll work on it. And then, you know, we'll just say like, okay, well, out of the trial, you know, when you go to move on to like the website order, we'll just know not to order that flavor. No biggie. You know, that's the whole point. Like Amy says, like, this is the whole point of the 10 days is to figure out which one do you love. And you're like, I need this every single day in my life. So if you find something that you don't feel that way about, that's totally cool. That's the whole point of this.
That's funny that you attract shy people, because I don't have that. I'm really real in my conversation. I'm not business appropriate. I'm just real and raw in my chats, and I'm like, oh, by the way, sorry, I am queen of typos, like really like throw in some random gifts, like just super real with people, right? And so I know that they're going to have the chocolate swirl and the orange dream first, because in my handwritten card I say start with OS. Because I'm a scientist, because I love all this stuff, I know that when we first start drinking ketones, we pee out and waste a lot of them. So it makes no sense to start with max. We're not gonna absorb all of the max. So I have my people start with OS. And so I know in those first 4 days that they're going to be drinking OS, which to me are the less favorite flavors, right? So I know those first 4 days are going to be tricky because it's Orange Dream. So on those first 4 days, I'll be like, so noticing any cleanse-like effects, funny poop emoji, right? Like just really breaking the ice with people, because I mean, that happens with that MCT oil. Like we've all had it go right through us. It's no big deal. So I know that chocolate swirl is my very least favorite. And I'm like, okay, which one did you try of the OS, orange or chocolate? And they're like, chocolate swirl. I'm like, oh, yeah, I really like that one with heavy whipping cream and protein powder and peanut butter and other things that cover it up. And they laugh at me and they're like, yeah, it was kind of chalky. And I'm like, yeah, well, there's things we could do about that. But it has added potassium and added sea salt. And that one is amazing for after workouts because it has BCAAs. And I'm like, I talk it down just to talk it up. And so I already know when they're going to have the crappy flavors, like I said, because I have them do those first.
That's awesome. I haven't thought about doing that. I really let them just do whatever they want, not thinking about more that scientific side. So that's awesome. I like that. Heather, when do you send them that link that I watched your video today about, you know, creating the cart link and all that stuff, which I've never done before? Like, what day are you kind of talking to them about that? Or sending that?
Well, I mean, generally speaking, it takes about, I don't know, 3 to 5 business days, sometimes I don't even know, sometimes a little bit longer to get a website order, right? So I generally am talking to them around day 4, maybe 5 about, getting them set up on a website order. So I don't wait till the end because I don't want them to run out, because we all know how we feel when we run out. We feel awful, awful. So I'm talking to them about the website order at that point. And then we're figuring out the flavor. And then basically I just let them know what I'm like. Once we figure out the flavor and I know that it's caffeine or caffeine free, I'll say, okay, I'm going to create a link for you, and it's going to have your favorite flavor in the cart already, so you don't have to go through any of the choosing options, because sometimes our website can get a little confusing. There's so many different things to choose. And so I will do all that for you, and seriously, they always say thank you, because most of the people are like, get frustrated at website stuff and give up if they have a little run into anything confusing. So I feel like this way really helps with that. So I put everything in the cart. I add in the Smartship already, so I do today in Smartship. And then I just let them know in the message when I send them the link that I have included their Smartship for their next month, because by that time we've already talked about it and they already know like what it is. So I don't like spring it on them at the order process. Like they already know like what it is. So by that time, I tell them like, hey, here's what this is, and you're going to see this price, and then you're going to see this price for next month, and this is also setting up on Smartship. As a reminder, it's going to start building up your preview box that you need for your free box as soon as we get a couple friends on. So I'm kind of like explaining that, and then let me know once you check out, and then that's it.
I like it. So Amy, how would you do that? Like, I don't know if you do it kind of the same way, but if you have the people starting with OS and they're banging out those chocolate and orange, like it takes, 4 or 5 days to get through those. So now they haven't really experienced all the flavors before they should be ordering to not run out. What do you do with that?
It's okay if they run out. They're going to really want their ketones if they run out. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
The first max, after having 4 days of chocolate and OS, they're like, dang, this raspberry is so good. And I'm like, all right, great. Day 5, we're buying. And they have 5 days left of ketones. They go a day or 2 without, and then their ketones come in. They're like, whew, pumped all over again. I'm like, yeah, let's make a post. Let's send some messages. So I'm really okay with them running out. I feel like that really shows you how great you feel when you go without. So yeah, I don't really worry about that.
Okay. I like it. Well, I think, I don't know, for the most part, like that covered a lot for me. So I don't know if anyone else has any questions who are on. And again, I have the sad little 40 minutes for our chat here, but I think that helped me a lot. So I can't wait to like kind of dive into all my people again and see what they've got going on. So thank you, girls.
Yes, connection is really, really important. If you have somebody who's already loving it and they're like, this is so amazing, without even asking them, just be like, Krista, you have an amazing story and it's only been 3 days. I'm going to introduce you to my friend Amy. She's been supporting me in this journey and I really want you to hear her story. Connect her immediately, because then I'm going to be able to be like, girl, with a story like that, you could stay home and you could have yourself a car bonus. Like, let's get these people that are on fire during trials thinking about promoting right away.
Right.
And let's get you out of sales person into friendship support mode and have somebody else validate you. So I connect my people in trials with people, and that's something I'm starting now, and it is working so good. Like, I'm going to blow up and hit rank 6 so much faster now because I'm connecting people with people. So I'm like super, super hyped on that. Really want to encourage everybody, connect your people with somebody else, because that is what we're doing. This is community marketing.
I remember before, I see Sandy on here. I remember before she came on, we got on a 3-way call, and I just loved hearing her story. Like, you were connecting me with a lot of your customers and people that you saw had a really good story that you felt should get it out there and should be a promoter to do that. And I loved it. I loved getting on those 3-way things. So I think that that's a really, really good thing too, is, people that are customers just getting them on with, you know, someone else on our team that can like uplift and edify their story and give them more belief in themselves and confidence that they could probably do something like this too, you know, with whatever time that they want to put into it.
And it makes them respect what you tell them more. You're going to be a much better coach if you've been edified and built up. Like, they're going to take what you say for so much more face value if somebody else tells them to listen to you. Otherwise, you're just like, I'm the expert. Listen to everything I say. Do what I say. Do what I say. And it's like, instead of that, it's like, dang, that girl loves Colleen. I'm lucky to have her as my coach. You know what I mean? So connection is really important even during the trial phase. Or if somebody's struggling too, not just the people who are on fire, the people that are struggling, like somebody's like, I cannot choke this down. It is so salty. It is so gross. And be like, that's so weird. It's not like that for me. But my friend Amy was saying it was like that for her. I'm going to get you in touch with her so that maybe she could tell you what she did, because I have no idea. Even if you do have an idea, even if you know heavy whipping cream will change it, let somebody else answer and solve that solution, because that is the perfect open door to get them to connect. So always be looking for a door to connect somebody with somebody else so that you can get edified. Does that make sense?
Love that.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Well,
that was a great call.
Over, hopefully, to the group so everyone else can listen how smart y'all are.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Can you put me on my other one?